Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley in a steel cage match on Dynamite. This was the main event. So the match started off with a brawl between the two, and the punches just looked really phony. And then the Elite came out, BBC, and there was a lot of chaos, some dives, some kicks, and whatever. A lot going on. And, Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, these guys have wrestled a few times. And, they can do all the moves. They can, really go at it. So they were hitting, a lot of, move after move. There was no selling. And then we came back from the commercial break. And then Jon Moxley had the turnbuckle, like part of it, like the turnbuckle rope in Kenny Omega's mouth. I just thought that was weird. And it was just pretty much just move after move. Nothing, to me at least, didn't make any sense. It's like, come on, can you guys at least sell? And there was one point in the match where they were slapping like schoolgirls. And I was like, what is this? What is going on? This is just ridiculous. And, when Kenny Omega hit the V trigger through the cage, I thought that was pretty cool. That was a cool spot, but it looked really dangerous, which didn't make any sense to me. And speaking of, not selling, Moxley got up before Kenny Omega. And then Kenny Omega, once Kenny Omega finally got in the ring, or when they both were in the ring, Kenny Omega hit a finisher. And then old Don Callis, he pretty much screwed Kenny Omega. He hit him with a screwdriver. So that was like the swerve, I guess, that no one saw coming. You know what? I would say that this match wasn't bad, but it's not my type of match. And of course, Jon Moxley had to bleed. I mean, that was just a given. He was just waiting to bleed, pretty much. It was just too chaotic, and like I said, not enough selling. It just, to me, didn't make sense. Now, when I first started watching wrestling, maybe when I was like 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever, I mean, even in my early teens, I was really into like hardcore matches, and I wanted to see blood. But when I got into, I'm 35 now, but when I got into my 20s, I was like, you know what? I don't really care for that anymore. I want to see good wrestling. I don't want to just see, these guys, throw a roof at each other or a kitchen sink, and then someone gets up and then people just bleed for no reason. Like, if you're going to have blood in the match, or if it's going to be a hardcore match, at least make it make sense. So I wasn't a fan, and it's whatever. So let's see what will happen next between the Elite and the BBC.